Hey everyone, we've got a fun video for you here, and we are calling it 5 influence techniques that we want you to be aware of. Whether you're using them on others for hopefully good purposes, or if others are using them against you, we want you to be aware and armed so that you know how to handle them.
These are extremely powerful, and it's probably important that you watch this right through, get them in your head, and whether or not you ever use them, as he said, other people will use these on you. Clever salespeople, people who come to the door of your house, cultists, all kinds of people. So pay attention. What's the first one?
Okay, the first one I'm going to call an artificial physical trap of sorts. It's sort of a psychological / physical trap. And what I mean specifically is, I remember this lady came to my door one day, and she was just looking for some sort of donation or whatever it was. And when I opened the door, and I'll pretend this is the clipboard that she was holding, she introduced herself and she presented the clipboard as if for me to hold it. So now
I'm holding it now.
I'm offering a pitch, right? Whatever it is.
And I'm holding something that she has given me that's not mine.
And you're kind of stuck here, right?
So you keep listening.
Exactly. So all I did is when she went to gesture for me to hold it, I said, that's okay. You can show me. And when she went to make her pitch, I just was able to say, that's okay, I'm not interested, thank you very much. Nice. I didn't accept the...
By not taking ownership of the clipboard,
and
we've made all the difference.
We've all seen these things where, can you do me a favor? And then you hand somebody like a piece of garbage, you go, oh, thanks, and you walk away.
Oh, yeah, with garbage, we used to say when I was a kid, feel how heavy this is.
Yeah.
And then you just walk away.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's the same
So what's
idea.
the next one?
Okay, let's talk about the next one would be double binds.
Oh, double binds are one of my favorite things. A double bind offers only 2 alternatives. It's very hypnotic because our brain is a weird thing, as if we didn't know.
Yeah.
What it does is if we're presented with only 2 alternatives, A or B, guess what happens? We tend to forget there are other possibilities and only decide between these 2.
Yeah, and if you don't know
there could be
about
alternative 3, 4, 5, whatever.
I've got an example for this one too.
I thought you might have.
Yeah, okay, so I remember, again, a few years ago, and I wrote this down because I thought, oh, that was so clever. The guy comes up to my door, rings the doorbell, as is often the case.
As they do.
And he was offering, he was setting up this expectation that he needed to go, I said that weird, expectation, like he needed to go check out our hot water heater in the basement because of whatever. And it was probably some sort of hot water heater contract replacement.
So he's trying to get access into the house.
I'm sure he's looking to make a sales pitch and trick me into thinking I needed to change to his company. And the double bind he presented was, after he made his pitch about how he needs to look at our water heater, he said, so the only thing I need to know is, do you want my shoes on or off?
There's your double bind. Meaning, you let me in with my shoes on or you let me in with my shoes off.
Yeah.
He didn't want him in at all.
So I recognized it and I just laughed and I said, that was a hilariously awesome double bind. Well done. I'm sure that works on a lot of people, but no thanks. I'm busy right now and I don't really want you entering my house, but thank you.
It's a great one. Listen for double binds. Clever salespeople will use these all the time. Shall we sign the contract now or do you want to have lunch first? Oh, I haven't got time for lunch. I guess I better sign it now.
Yeah.
Think about it. This will happen to you.
All right, next one. Let's move on to number 3, which is matching and mirroring.
Oh, matching. Yeah. Matching and mirroring comes from neurolinguistic programming. And basically, you enter the other person's model of the world. You build a very strong rapport with them by copying their body language, their breathing rate, their posture, everything. So if he's standing Superman like that, if I switch and start standing the same way. So we'll do it like
beside each other, right?
It looks a bit odd, but yeah. So we're not saying anything wrong with it, but standing like that, we are building rapport because we have this psychodynamic loop. You'll see this with gang members. On one corner in Toronto, I've seen this. One guy will be standing there and he's doing all this stuff, and the other guy's copying him. So he's the leader, and they're matching and mirroring him. Now, when people match and mirror you, they are then looking to lead and do something, and you will be pulled to follow them if you're not careful.
Right. In fact, if you're watching this, and you want to, obviously you're watching this, if you want to practice this, you can gently match and mirror other people, and then take the lead and see what happens. And if you're in rapport, according to the NLP model,
they will follow you.
They will follow you. You might catch people doing this overly obvious, and you might catch yourself unconsciously doing this.
Overly obviously.
Yeah, thank you. Often when we're teaching in Toronto, we would be in the classroom.
Just we're teaching all week.
Just on a break, and we'd catch ourselves standing the same way, or leaning the same way, leaning onto a chair the same way.
Mirroring. A friend of mine had a photocopier guy come to his house years ago at his home office, And as he sat down, the guy sat exactly like him. So he tested it. He moved his pencil like this, and the other guy talking moved the other pencil. And he said, "Stop mirroring what I'm doing." He said, "I'm sorry, we were just taught to do this." He said, "Well, stop doing it." Watch for it.
So watch for that one. Okay, the next one is reciprocity. This is actually the rule of reciprocity. Comes out of Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. It was written, I don't remember when, maybe in the 90s or something.
Yeah.
Fantastic book. I call it the Bible of influence. And it's a brilliant technique. Reciprocity simply means that if you do something for someone,
they will reciprocate.
They're going to feel this unconscious need to reciprocate. And there's a study in his book where he talks about, for example, during a setup experiment on a coffee break, a guy goes and buys a can of Coke and then another one for his partner, gives him the can.
And the guy didn't even ask for it.
Right. But then at the end, he says, "Oh, by the way, we're raising money for such and such, and we're selling these lottery tickets. Would you like to buy some?" The guy goes, "Well, sure."
2,000.
Well, he bought something like, I can't remember the stat, but 5 times the value of what the bottle of Coke that he was given.
That's the point he's making that's so powerful here. The can of Coke is way less value than what he got in return. When someone gives you something without being asked, we'll see this with certain cultists. They'll come up to you in the street and they'll hand you a stick of incense or a flower or something. If you take it, reciprocity is going to kick in. There's a huge thing in human nature to want to give back.
Yeah.
Recognize it.
I'll give you one more example of this that I think is a good one too. So in the real estate business, let's say a real estate agent sells you a house. And on move-in day, the real estate agent politely shows up with a gift basket, maybe some wine and cheese, and says, "Hey, I know you're moving in. Congratulations. I just wanted to drop this off for you. Have a great move-in date. Is it okay if I check in with you in a week and see how things are going?"
You're not going to say no.
"Of course." And then the guy calls you and says, "By the way, would you leave me a review on Yelp?" Of course you're going to say yes, right?
Amazingly, you just made me think of something that happens to me every year. We have the same bookkeeper we've had for years who prepares the stuff for my business, takes it to the accountant. And every year, at the end of the year, this beautiful basket arrives with a bottle of wine, and, summer sausage and cookies and stuff in it. Have we ever gotten rid of her and gone to somebody else?
No. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's nice to do things for people, but just be aware that somebody might be doing something for you so that you'll so that you'll do something in return, and you don't have to. If you're aware of this, you can fight that unconscious urge.
You can say, this is reciprocity that this person is doing. Realize as well, the worst position to be in is if you're watching this and thinking, oh, these things wouldn't work on you. This is human nature. And we follow human nature unless we are crazy, to use the medical term. So
we've already done 4 techniques.
There must be a 5th one, Chris. Yes, we have
done 5.
Yes, we have.
And this has been actually quite fun so far, hasn't it?
Well, it's about as fun as where it gets, yes.
So then I think we should do one more. Do you agree?
I do, Chris.
All right, can you explain yes sets?
You just did one on me. What he did was he got me to say yes. He got me to agree internally multiple times. That's what a yes set does. It builds positive momentum. And again, we will see phenomenal salespeople use this technique, show up at the door of your house and say, "Oh, it's a beautiful day, isn't it?" You say yes, because it's bright and sunny.
Anything that you will internally think yes to, say yes to, agree with.
Agreement. And then they might say, "Oh, do you live here?" "No, I break into other people's houses in my pajamas. Of course I freaking live here." But you said yes a second time. If they can do 3 or 4 yeses or internal agreements,
the way to getting you to agree to the next thing that they're going to suggest.
It's like a wheel starts rolling.
Right.
Every yes and every agreement. And then for you to say no, it's very, very hard to begin to reverse it. So they might say something, "Beautiful day, isn't it? Oh, was that your car in the Derby?" "Yes." "You live here?" "Yes." "Could I show you this wonderful thing we got in your neighborhood?" It's very hard to say no.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
all right,
yes set.
So those are 5 influence techniques to be aware of, whether you're using them or having them used against you that you're now aware of, and you can fight them if you need to. I mean, not physically.
No, probably not. No. That'll be another video.
Hope you enjoyed the video. So check the link in the description so you can visit our website if you want to, MikeMandelHypnosis.com, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.